Hello, everybody. Good evening. Welcome. We'll just give another 30 seconds or so. Just let everybody hop on. Excited to have you here tonight. Hello, hello. Come on in. Okay. All righty. Good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is doing okay and managing this crazy thing, which is life right now. Thank you so much for joining us in our kitchens tonight. I was only just thinking, you know, someone had said to me 18 months ago, you'll be cooking in your kitchen and you'll have 100 people in there and you'll have your slippers on. I would have laughed my head off. But, you know, here we are. I hope you've been enjoying the cooking classes that the Vivid branch have been putting on to keep you inspired and entertained during lockdown. And if you're a new owner and this is your first class, then a big welcome to you. So we've got a bit of girl power going on tonight. It's an all-female cooking crew. We have Jo, Sophie, Betty, Elena, and myself cooking, and the very gracious Trudy is running our chat tonight. So a very diverse bunch of consultants, from our youngest being 21, full-time corporate. We've got part-time corporate, new mum of 2. We've got a qualified vet, another part-time corporate, and 2 team leaders. So all with the common thread of wanting to share the love of Thermomix. So, you know, being a consultant, you can do it part-time, full-time, or just fun time. So we're very excited to share our favourite family dinners with you tonight. So feel free to pop any questions in the chat and we'll help you out with those. And we also thought we'll hang around at the end. If you have any questions or you would like to just have a chat to the team, I'd also like to run a quick 2-minute video which will give you an idea about what it's like to be a consultant. So feel free to hang around, you know, if that's of any interest to you. So with the class tonight, we will share the video with you tomorrow and the recipe links. Trudy is going to share the links with you in the chat as we go along. So you can also follow up tomorrow and re-watch something, or if you miss it, you can see it again. So we're making recipes tonight from Cookie Do and also from the Thermomix recipe community, which has, you know, tons of free recipes on there. You can make all these recipes in just about any Thermomix, I'm pretty sure. So the first person that we're going to kick off with is Betty, and she is going to start us off with sweet and sour pork ribs. So I'm just going to go through and find Betty. Here she is here. We'll pop a spotlight on. Hi, Betty, how are you going?
I'm great, thanks, Janine. Hi, I'm Betty. So I'm making sweet and sour pork ribs, or it's called guloyo in Cantonese. It's definitely a favorite in our family. It's easy and quick to make, and it's a favorite from my 7-year-old all the way to my hubby. So it's definitely a win, and you should really try it. So let's get cooking. It's a really simple recipe, and I'm going to give you some tips as to how to make it better. So I'm just going to start off with 20 grams of oil. 10 grams of thinly sliced ginger. I'm going to pop that on, let that cook for 3 minutes, and talk about the pork that I've prepared. It is locked down. This is sort of pork ribs. It's more like pork belly than pork rib, but it will work. It's still pork. Usually you just chop it and throw it into the TM, but I have done something extra with it to make it taste a little bit more authentic and a little bit better. what I did was, this is about 600 grams of pork ribs. The recipe calls for 500, but the packet came at 600, so it will work. I've cut it up and I popped half of it into my basket, and then I popped it into my TM with about 1.7 liter of water, and I washed the pork for 5 minutes at 50 degrees at speed 5. What it does is that it washes out all the blood residue in the pork, and it makes it taste nicer. The reason why I had to do it like twice is because I can't throw all 600 grams in there. It's not going to wash properly. So about 200 to 300 grams, and you let it wash. At the end of this 5-minute cycle, you get this really foamy, yucky looking water. If you tip it out and give the pork a wash, I'm not sure if you can tell, but it looks quite fresh and clean, if you know what I mean. But actually it looks really nice, and it's really nice to handle afterwards. And it definitely does give you a better taste in the pork dish you make. You can use this method for a lot of slow cooked meats that you cut up in chunks. If you give it a pre-wash, tiny clean, your dish will taste nicer. So give it a try. It's definitely something that I do a lot with my chunky meat cooking. This dish often goes really well. It's like a takeaway dish that I don't think anybody would turn down. No one turns down takeaway sweet and sour pork ribs. So and it goes really well with rice, and my kids could eat a bowl of rice just with the sauce. They may not eat the meat, but the sauce will help the rice go down. So they're definitely fed. And there's some sugar and vinegar and wine in there, but it's all cooked, so it's all good. Nothing to worry about, and it looks quite pretty. I've only got 30 seconds left on my TM while cooking the ginger. And this step, it actually uses quite a high heat. It cooks the ginger at 120 degrees to really bring out the aroma of the ginger, to give this dish quite a lot of it makes it.
We got a message.
It actually makes it taste and smell really, really, really authentic. So, here I am. Next, you can smell the ginger. It smells actually really nice, gingery. In goes the pork that I've washed. And it's actually really, really simple. It asks for rock sugar. Lockdown crisis, I've only got raw sugar. It will work. 30 grams of rice wine. 50 grams of rice vinegar. This is so easy to make. 15 grams of light soy sauce. 15 grams of dark soy sauce. And then measuring cup in your lid. And I'll see you back in 25 minutes with our cooked sweet and sour pork ribs. I'll give it back to you, Janine. You're on mute.
That's not helpful. Okay, and I'm just going to spotlight my machine as well, see if that's going to work tonight. Doesn't look like it is. I don't know why it doesn't let me spotlight, but two machines. Spotlight for everyone. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm making a warm salmon salad. This is one of the Thermomix recipe community. Okay, of the Thermomix recipe community, and we'll include that in the link as well. It's like an Asian warm salmon salad, and it's really kind of quite flexible because the recipe is for 6 portions, but you can easily cut that down, and I am going to cut it down a little bit tonight because it's only my husband and I eating here tonight. So So the first thing it's asking me, we're going to make a sauce first, and I've actually pre-made that just to kind of keep things moving quickly. So it's a very kind of thick Asian style sauce, and it's got kicap manis, sesame oil, a little bit of olive oil, fish sauce, and some brown sugar. And what you can do is you pop that into the Thermomix on 70 degrees for 3 or 4 minutes. And because we just want to basically dissolve that sugar that's in there. So the other thing is, if you're in a real hurry, you could just pop it in the microwave if you wanted to. So the next thing we want to do is cook the rice. I will just try one more time to try and add a spotlight. No, it won't hold it. Zoom is not cooperating this evening. That's okay. You can't see my machine. So what I'll do, I'm going to, I don't know what's going on here.
No, I was just trying as well, Janine, to see if I could do it, but it jumps up and then disappears again. So I won't try again, I promise.
I don't know why it does that. It's yeah, it's a shame we won't be able to have a look at my machine. But so basically what I'm going to do is pop my steaming basket into the Thermomix, and I'm going to weigh in about 400 grams of rice. But I'm actually only doing about 200 grams tonight. I'm going to give that a quick rinse under the tap. And there's so many different ways to cook rice in your Thermomix. So, you know, you'll probably see another consultant and they'll do something totally different. And there's automated modes on the Thermomix. But I've had a Thermomix for 11 years and some habits die hard. So what I'm going to do is I put in 400 grams of rice. And then what I'm going to do, I've pre-boiled my kettle, and I'm just going to pull up my scales, and I'm going to weigh in about 950 grams of water. Yep, just on 1,000 actually. Then what I need to do is I need to get a spatula and just give that rice a good stir, because as the water goes through it, it kind of makes it a little bit, kind of go hard into a spot. Okay, so then I'm going to pop my lid on. What I have here, I've got my Varoma, and in there I went down to the fish shop at the mall today, and I've got 2 beautiful, absolutely gorgeous looking salmon fillets. But basically what you can do is I could probably get at least another one of those in there. But you can fill up that tray with the salmon fillet. So as much as you can get in there, if you're cooking for a lot of people, you can totally put in as much as you can. So I'm going to pop that on, and then all I need to do is set my time for 17 minutes on Varoma temperature on speed 4, and that's going to cook my rice underneath, and it's going to steam the salmon fillets. Now I have bought quite thick salmon fillets because they are going to cook for the same amount of time as the rice. If you had really thin little fillets, I would actually only put them on for maybe 10 minutes of the cooking time with the rice. So obviously you don't want to overcook your salmon. And then when all that's done, I'm actually going to fill up the Varoma dish. I've got these lots of beautiful Asian vegetables. So I've got snow peas, broccoli, I've julienned some carrots, ribboned some zucchini, capsicum and broccoli, and I'm going to fill that up after 17 minutes into the Varoma dish. I'm going to put the salmon back on the top, and I'm going to cook that for about another 4 minutes, because I want these veggies to be, you know, still have their color, bright, crunchy, and you know, just kind of a little bit slightly cooked, but obviously we don't want them to be overcooked. So I'm going to pop that on. That's going to cook for about 20 minutes, and then we'll come back to me and I'll show you how I do the presentation for the dinner. But yeah, pretty versatile dinner. So I think next we're heading over to Jo, and Jo is doing meatballs in a red pepper sauce, and she's going to show us how we can get some extra sneaky veg in there, because she's got a a little person running around her house who needs extra nutrition. So we'll head over to Jo.
Thanks, Janine. Hi, everyone. I'm Jo. I'm making the meatballs in red pepper sauce. It's a UK recipe, so don't search red capsicum. I've spent hours doing that before, saying, where is it? So we're making these tonight. The sauce is cooked in the bottom of the Thermomix, and then we'll use the aroma to steam the meatballs, which is gives them a really lovely texture. And I am going to be adding some hidden veg as well. So let's start cooking. So it's asking for 150 grams of onion, brown onion, which I will do, but also I am hiding in red capsicum, carrot, some fennel. I've got some fennel and the friands as well, and I've got some zucchini down there in the bottom. So it totaled about 200 grams, I think. So I'll just pop all of those in. Lovely. And 2 rashers of rindless bacon. So I've just roughly chopped some bacon as well. Next thing it asks for is a day-old slice of crusty bread. My day-old slice of bread is gluten-free, and that works absolutely fine. Excuse me. And also, I didn't quite have enough, so I've added some breadcrumbs as well, which are gluten-free rice breadcrumbs. And next coming up is the parsley, and I'll pop that all in together. So that's the bread and some parsley. 30 grams of Parmesan cheese. If you want it in there, it's optional. I'm not doing that today. And then you just pop the lid on your Thermomix and blend. Now, because I added extra veg, I'll just have a look and check it's chopped enough for a 4-year-old not to spot. Oh yeah, perfect. So I'll just show you this. We just scrape down the sides, and it smells fantastic already. The bacon and the herbs and things already. And I'll just show you how fine that is. So that extra veg will be hidden in those meatballs beautifully, and no one will be any the wiser. So 500 grams of beef. I'm actually using pork tonight because I used fennel and I just thought that would be nice. I've used pork before, I've also used chicken, but 500 grams of minced meat, whichever meat you're using. I'll just break it up slightly. And then there are some herbs. So we're putting in 1 teaspoon of Italian herbs, 1 heaped teaspoon I put in of sweet paprika, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. So that's already blended up there for me. That's all going together. You can add whatever you like here. I've added sage before, which is one of my favourite ground herbs, but I couldn't find it tonight. And then you're just popping all that in the Thermomix and giving it a good blend. And that is done. So I'll just show you what that looks like. This is all ready to be blended into meatballs. And it looks like that. So it's a mixture of the meat and the things as well. And that is the TM6 that quiet? Not when you're right by it, no. So yeah, that's all.
I think that's Zoom. I think Zoom, Marlene. Yeah.
I think it mutes it. Yeah. No, it's just I've heard a TM5. I think they're the same probably. So that is the meatballs. Janine, am I doing the sauce now? Sorry, or are you coming back to me for the sauce?
Yeah, I think you're going to do the whole thing, and then
Fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah.
Perfect. So I will just get my trusty second bowl and we'll roll those meatballs out shortly. So
So the sauce cooks for 12 minutes, is that right?
Yes, yeah, not
Yeah.
much sauce.
Yep. If we can get the sauce on and then we'll come back to you.
Perfect. So 20 grams of olive oil. I didn't tar it, so I'm just going to guess. And then more veggies, which is why I love this recipe. So again, another 150 grams of onion, but again, I've added carrot chunks, red capsicum, and some more fennel as well. So that's going to go in and blend. I'm skipping the garlic clove. Oh, apologies. And sultanas.
Joe doesn't eat garlic, so skipping that one.
That's right, yeah. I'm not eating onion and garlic at the moment, actually. So if you could really see the veggie bowl as well, my onion is fennel. So if you struggle with onion and garlic making you feel a bit sore in the tummy, then fennel and garlic oil are my top tips. 20 grams of sultanas going in, 100 grams of tomatoes, which I forgot to get. So I'm going to use tinned. I'm pretty sure I've done it with tinned before and it's fine. I don't see why it wouldn't be. So just over 100 there. I'm just going to give all that a really good blend up. Fantastic. And then this recipe was asking for chicken stock. I'll just show you this actually, blended, just again, so the mums out there, or fussy husbands, or you maybe wanting just more veggies in your diet generally, how well that goes down into next to nothing. And it just, because it cooks away underneath the meatballs, you just can't tell there's any extra veg in there really. So
Not the good veggie smuggling.
Veggie, that's what I call it, the veggie smuggler, yeah. I once got 9 veggies into a shepherd's pie, not including the potato. That was my proudest moment, I think, as a mum. So that is the homemade chicken stock going in there. That obviously is best, made from Cookie Doo. So 1 tablespoon or thereabouts of Worcestershire sauce. This is a nice gluten-free brand. Worcestershire sauce does have gluten in normally. You can get this one in Woolies if you're gluten-free. And then 250 grams of red pepper, which is also known as red capsicum. Could not work out what capsicum was 11 years ago when I first came to this country. I think I asked a waiter what it was on a pizza. I was very confused. And 100 grams of water. So
You find this one makes a lot of sauce, Joe?
Yeah, this one makes a lot of sauce and I freeze it. It's almost double really what you need. So I freeze it, and the amount of meatballs is huge. So this is a decent 4 portion. Well, we get 4 adults and then 2 lots of children out of it. So yeah, it makes a lot, this one, which is why I like it. Cook once, eat twice, right? And we're just going to cook that for 10 minutes. Thanks, Janine.
Okay, all right, fantastic. Now we're going to head over to Sophie. And Sophie, when I can find her, here she is. We'll play spotlight. So Sophie is making jackfruit rice paper rolls. Sophie's a bit of a veggie queen, and so she's chosen this dish tonight. So take it away, Sophie.
Hi everyone. So I am making a recipe that I actually tried for the first time last week, fell in love with it, and I thought I'd really like to show you all how to make it. And it's now become one of those ones that kind of comes a part of the rotation. My rotation is getting very long. I feel like it's probably a month long now with all the recipes I've now tried, which is what I love about being a consultant, because it always pushes me out of my comfort zone with trying new recipes all the time. So I've actually pre-prepared the filling, but I'm going to run you through what I did, because it actually only took about 10 minutes, and it's here. And it mimics very closely what you would use with pulled pork, but instead it's jackfruit. So if I get a fork here, you still get that stringiness that you would get when you've got your pulled pork. And you can get jackfruit just from Woolworths, and you can get it from, this is the can that I use, and it comes in the macro organic health food aisle in Woolworths. You can see it there, and it's I think $4 a can, and you just use one for this recipe. So what I did was popped some onion and garlic in the bowl and blitzed it, and then cooked that with some sesame oil. It asked for peanut oil, but I don't actually like peanuts, so I just use some sesame oil instead. Once that cooks up for a few minutes, you pop the can of jackfruit in with some, I'll just confirm all the sauces, with some Chinese 5-spice, hoisin sauce, a little bit of tamari, rice wine vinegar, tomato paste, sriracha, and a teaspoon of arrowroot starch. I just use arrowroot flour. And then you cook for 10 minutes and it turns out like this. The recipe does actually ask you to then pop it from this consistency into the oven for 20 minutes to dry it out, but I actually don't mind it like this. And if I don't mind it like this and it's going to save me an extra 20 minutes of cooking time, win-win for me. So that's done. And then I've just cooked some vermicelli rice noodles here, and I just popped some boiling water over them in my thermos for a few minutes and cooked them. And then because I'm just making this for myself tonight, I've got a really diddly amount of veggies, but I've just julienned some carrots. I've got some fresh mint leaves, cucumber, and some lettuce. And that's what goes in the rice wraps. And then you've got your rice paper rolls here. Can you use fresh jackfruit? I've never seen a fresh jackfruit in Woolworths. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they have it at Harris Farm, but I have never tried it with fresh jackfruit. I think because this has been sat in, I think it's just water and lime juice. It's almost fermented, so it's really soft. But I'm sure that you could get generally at Harris Farm. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that it would be at Harris Farm. No, I've never tried it, but if you give it a go, let the Facebook page know, the Sydney Ciders Thermomix Facebook page know. And then I've just got my rice paper wraps, which I just found in the Asian aisle in Woolworths, and they're really easy to find. And then we've got a dipping sauce. So I'm going to actually make the dipping sauce here now with you guys. So I've got the jackfruit rice paper roll recipe sitting on my Thermomix, and I'm just going to click this arrow down here, and it's actually going to bring me to the recipe. And I'm going to scroll down to where it says the peanut sauce. And I'm going to click on the step 6, which will take me straight to the step I want to be on, which is a really cool tip for Cookie Do Thermomix users if you're wanting to skip ahead in a recipe. So here it says add in 2 garlic cloves. I've got one really large one, so I've done that. No, this isn't a TM6 only recipe. All the functions that we're using, you can also use on a TM5 and TM31. So that's 1 garlic clove in there, and then I'm just going to pop that lid on and then give it a turn to speed 7 for 5 seconds. Perfect, and we're going to just scrape down those sides with our spatula, wait for those arms to unlock. And we've got our meat. One of my favourite things since owning a Thermomix is how finely, that lighting, how finely it dices my onions and garlic, even in small quantities. So that's only 1 garlic clove there. And now it's going to ask for peanuts. Because I don't eat peanuts, I just omit this step, and the sauce is just a dipping sauce rather than a chunky dipping sauce. But this is where you'd add in some peanuts, and then you just pop the lid on. Oh, it's asking to blend it. We're not going to do that. Here we go. So it's asking for some peanut oil. Because I don't use peanut oil, I've just got sesame oil, and I like the flavour that it brings to dishes. Go. So we're going to put 2 teaspoons in of that. Perfect. pop the lid on. Give it another chop. There we go. Mix that all together. Then we're going to add in the rest of the ingredients. So it's asking for 60 grams of water. 1.5 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar. And all of these Asian sauces and condiments, you can all get these in Woolies or Coles. And I'm a massive free pourer. I never actually measure things. I always say that guided cooking is definitely a guide for me. A little bit of mirin seasoning, so 1/2 tablespoon. Hoisin sauce, so that is 50 grams. There we go. Sriracha. I actually use this vegan Sriracha Mayo, and this is a really, you can just get it at Coles and Woolies, and it sits next to the regular Sriracha, but it adds that flavour of Sriracha without it being so spicy. So that's a good one that I found before, and that's just a teaspoon of that. And then we're going to pop that lid on and give it a mix on speed 5 for 8 seconds. Perfect. And that's all done. So I'm going to show you how I assemble it. And I am definitely no professional, but I'm going to bring you down here to my little station. And I'm just going to pop that sauce in here. That lid just went everywhere. That's fine. So I grab a rice paper wrap, and I've got a plate here just with about 1 centimetre of water, and I just submerge it in that water there. And I leave it there for about 30 seconds. You want it to still be quite thick and malleable. You do not want it to feel like a rice paper roll. Otherwise, it'll become too sticky and hard to work with. So I always just feel it, and that it's got a bit of a pattern on it that you can feel, and that sort of starts to go away as it, and it's just cold water as it starts to soften. And then, a few more seconds. This one is one of those ones where once I make all of the ingredients, so you can see here, it's malleable, but it's not completely loose. And then I just pop it onto the bench. This is one of those recipes, at this point, you get everyone to make their own rice paper wraps, and you make it like a fun little, almost like a taco night where you make your own taco, but you make your own rice paper wrap, because it's really hands-on. And I like to get my fingers in everything, as you'll see as I make it. So I've popped the wrap down. I grab about 2 tablespoons of the jackfruit, and I just pop it down. Then I grab some vermicelli noodles, pop that on top. Lots of cucumber on top there. Lots of carrot. Some fresh mint leaves. You can do bean sprouts. I'm going to do some more mint there. And then to finish it off, I'm going to do some cos lettuce like so. And then what you do is you try wrap it as tightly as you can. So I fold over the ends first, and then I grab one and I wrap it as tightly as I can. And then you've got your rice paper roll all done. And then you can just make as many as you want. And then pop your little sauce onto your dining table, and everyone can dip it in and spoon it over and enjoy those. And it's one of my favorite lunch. It's a healthy lunch snack. They keep really well like this as well. So you can pop them in the fridge, have them the next day for lunch, kids' lunch boxes, something for them to grab out the fridge in the middle of homeschooling. And it's nice and healthy and it tastes delicious. So if you try it, post it on the Facebook page and share the recipe with your friends. I love sharing recipes and trying new things out.
That looks awesome, Sophie. And that's exactly what we're doing tonight, aren't we? We're just sharing recipes and doing a little bit of cooking together. And that looks like an amazing recipe, not something I would probably cook if I hadn't seen you make it. So thank you for that. That looks, I can't wait to have a go. And Matthew and I will get lined up and we'll have a little process line going on in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's nudging elbows. Hey, I want to have a go at that one, or I want to make this, or you've taken too much of the filling. It will just be a bit of fun.
Awesome. Sounds great. Thank you. Okay, now we are heading, I'm not sure if we're heading back to Joe, so I'm just going to go back there. No, not ready for you. So you've got your meatballs on the top.
Yeah, so it's a bit noisy, that's the only thing. So yeah, I've got the meatballs on the top, 2 layers. And just so you know, the recipe says that it makes 20 and I made 24. So that's because of the extra veg. So pumped it out with the extra veg. There'll be 4 extra meatballs as well. So that's another meal right there. So yes, I've got another 11 minutes left. The sauce is still cooking underneath as well.
Okay, all right, that's awesome. So what we'll do is we will head over to Elena. And Elena is going to, she's not going to make a pizza dough with us, but she's going to give us her spin on how she makes pizzas in her house and give us a few ideas. So thanks, Elena.
Thank you, Janine. Hi, everyone. I'm Elena. I'm actually from Spain, but my husband is Italian. So I'm going to show you how we make the traditional pizza the Italian way tonight. For the pizza dough, I made it earlier, and you just need a few ingredients. I'm sure most of you have done it already with your Thermomix. You just need your water, yeast, flour, sugar, and salt. We use baker's flour because it has this extra protein that makes the dough a bit more robust and holds up better for baking bread products. One thing with the Italian traditional way of making pizza is that we don't cook the tomato sauce. I use this one. They're the Italian peeled tomatoes, and we blend it with extra virgin olive oil and salt. You can use any toppings you like in the pizza, but you can also make a pizza crust and substitute your bread for dinner. Make a garlic pizza for starters. But tonight I'm gonna show you how to make the traditional Margherita pizza and a calzone. So I'm just going to show you my setup. I already rolled out the pizza. My trick to roll out the pizza is my husband. He makes a very good job rolling out pizza. So just gonna put 3 spoons of tomato sauce in the center. And I'm gonna spread the tomato sauce with the back of the spoon. And I'm gonna leave 1 centimeter to 2 centimeters to the crust. Actually, I'm just gonna put a bit more, sorry. One thing that I would like to share with you about the Margherita pizza is that this pizza was created in 1989 in honor of the Queen of Italy at the time, the Queen Margherita of Savoy. And the ingredients of this pizza represent the colors of the Italian flag. I'll show you once it's done. Just gonna pop my mozzarella. Lots of mozzarella. The Margherita pizza has only 3 ingredients, which are the tomato sauce, the mozzarella, and fresh basil. Sorry for that.
Very unlike the pizzas in my house that you can't even see the base by the time we actually put it in the oven. And I always think we put way too much on, but
I actually find this one a bit boring, but I must admit that is one of our favorites. My husband, even when we go out, he orders the same pizza. At home, he cooks the same pizza. But as simple as it is one of the favorites. This is the most traditional pizza in Italy. And as I said earlier, so the red tomato sauce represents, sorry, the red of the Italian flag. The mozzarella cheese represents the white on the Italian flag, and the fresh basil, the green in the Italian flag.
Oh, that's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what. And we sprinkle a little bit of Parmesan cheese on top just to make it a bit more tasty. And that's it. So this is one pizza. Today, I'm going to use this electric oven, but of course you can use your conventional oven at home. This oven can give you an idea of how much pizza we eat in this house.
Bit of a favorite, is it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, I'm having a bit of an issue here.
That's all right. It tucked itself under right at the end. Of course it did. When anyone's watching, it would be perfect if nobody's watching.
Sorry. Yeah, this is the first time I make pizza for that many people. Sorry for that. I'm gonna make the calzone in the meantime. So I'm gonna. Ho bisogno d'aiuto. La pizza, vieni qua. Vieni. Non ti vedo.
How many pizzas do you get out of one dough, Elena?
Around 5 this size.
Wow. Okay.
And it's just one dough would be what, like $1 or something.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna make the calzone pizza now with cheese. You can put any ingredients that you like. This one we're gonna use a bit more toppings. And the feature of this pizza is that it's a folded pizza. I'll show you what. Again, now I'm gonna put the tomato sauce only on one side because I'm gonna fold this pizza.
Katrina's asking, how long do you prove your dough for, Elena?
At least 1 hour, but today we prepped it for 3 hours. Better for 3-4 hours. The longer the better, but at least 1 hour. Così. Gonna put some mozzarella for the calzone. I'm gonna put more ingredients, maybe more like in the Australian way. See, it's gonna. Just gonna put some ham, some salami as well. This one is my favorite, and Margherita is my husband's favorite. My daughter eats all of them. Just gonna also use some ricotta cheese. Oh no, sorry, no basil on this one. Sorry for that. And I'm going to fold the pizza. So there should be a bit less flour on top of this pizza. It's just because I had it ready, just sitting on here. The flour stayed on top of the pizza. So basically that's what the calzone looks like. And as soon as the other pizza is ready, I'm gonna pop it in the oven, and I'll show you how it looks like a bit later.
Okay, that's wonderful, Elena. Thank you. Can't wait to come back and have a look and see how that looks. We're going to head over to Betty. So Betty's doing the sweet and sour pork ribs, and she's going to show us presentation.
Hi. So it's cooked already. It's a very simple one pot, one dal. If only you can smell it. It's sweet and sour, and it's got that nice gingery taste that I was talking about. So I've pre-cooked some vegetables. I'll show you the pork. Looks really good, and it has a lot of sauce in it, which is definitely a favorite among my kids. They like the sauce so much.
So how long did that cook for, Betty? Just to remind us.
25 minutes. So
25.
plunk it in. You can go bath the kids, empty the dishwasher, get the washings in, and pretty much dinner is done. So now I usually garnish it with a little bit of sesame, just some roasted white sesame. We are a fan of coriander, so there's always coriander. And together with some rice, dinner is served. easy. Definitely one of our favorite at home.
Yum, that looks absolutely delicious. I absolutely love sweet and sour pork ribs. So does my husband. So another one that we'll be adding onto the list for sure.
It's our favorite at home too.
Okay,
Everyone likes it.
thank you, Betty. Don't forget to take a photo for me.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. Okay. Back to
Janine,
me.
there's just a question in the chat there from Chris wanting to know, is the pork tender after just 25 minutes?
Oh, actually it is. How can I show it? It's actually quite easy to pull apart already.
Oh, wow.
Let's do another piece.
I mean, the beauty about ribs is that, I don't know about you, Betty, but you eat them with your fingers.
Chopsticks.
It's okay. No, I'm not that good with chopsticks. That's probably not going to happen in my house.
Yeah, it's very easily pulled apart already. So yes, it's actually quite tender. And I do think the pre-cleaning and the tiny bit of 5 minutes at 50 degrees does help to help with the cooking to make it quite tender and nice to eat as well.
Right. Okay.
Oh, and with the basket trick, there's one more thing you can do with it. You can wash strawberries in it. Try it. Same amount of water without the temperature, so 5 minutes at speed 5. You see all the yuckies falling off your strawberries, and it's the best.
It's actually, I was mind blown the first time I washed fruit in my Thermomix, because I just thought, I washed them, I thought they're clean, but when you actually do a proper wash in the Thermomix, it's like, oh, okay, no, that's not what I thought was going to happen then. So yeah, absolutely, washing your veggies and fruit is awesome. Okay, so back to me.
The wash technique, I was just replying to a question. The wash technique is 5. You can remember it's like 5, 5, 5 if it's meat. So it's 5 minutes, 50 degree, speed 5. If it's fruit, it's 5 minutes, no temperature, speed 5. And you want the water to be just touching the bottom of your basket, and the speed 5 actually bring all the water up to wash your fruit or your meat for you.
Okay, cool. Thanks very much, Betty. We'll include that tip when we send out the email. So I have just got a, a nice white platter. Normally I would do something slightly larger, especially if I'm entertaining. But I'm just going to grab my rice and pop that into the bowl. So you could use baby spinach on the bottom first if you want to kind of make it look a little bit prettier. Absolutely do that. But as I said, this dish you can bulk it out to really kind of feed the masses. So I'll just go with about that much rice, I think. I've got my salmon fillets here, so they've the salmon looks absolutely amazing, I must say. I think it makes a difference when you buy it from a fishmonger. And he took all the bones out for me and skinned it. So honestly, the salmon looks amazing. So that's all the salmon that I cooked. So I'm going to pop that on there. And I just go in with my greens. So I'll grab a pair of tongs and just sprinkle those around. And you can use whatever veggies you like. I mean, everyone's a little bit different. If you don't like zucchini, then you could, use something else. I really love snow peas. They're kind of one of my favorites. And a bit of broccoli. We eat a lot of broccoli in this house. So, and I've also got a little bit of capsicum just for some added colour. So one of those dishes that, has lots of colour and good nutrition with those steamed veggies. Then what I've got is some coriander. Like Betty, we love coriander in this house, so I'm going to go in with some coriander. I've also sliced up some shallots, so I'll just sprinkle those over the top. And lastly, I just got some slivered almonds, slivered or whatever they're called, and I just toasted them a little bit. I'm just going to sprinkle a few of those on the top. And then all I need to do is go in with my lovely warm dressing. And this is kind of where the magic happens in the dressing, I must admit. So this recipe does make quite a large portion of sauce. We don't mind that in this house, because if there's any leftovers, it you know, might get used on some chicken or something tomorrow. But it's also nice when you actually serve people, they can then go in and add a little bit more at the table. So there is a, you know, really delicious, very healthy, all-in-one, like what we're doing tonight, you know, kind of cooking everything in the Thermomix in one. You know, fabulous dinner, and I haven't made a mess in the rest of the kitchen. Don't need to clean my cooktop or anything like that. And 20 minutes, dinner's on the table. So that's me with the warm salmon salad. I'm just trying to think who we go to next. We're going back to Jo and her meatballs. So I will find Jo here, see if she's ready to go.
I am. Can you hear me?
Oh, yay.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect timing. They just finished.
Yes, we can.
Great. So with the Varoma, just remember to open it away from your face so you don't get covered in steam, and then to turn the tray over so you can use it as a drip tray. And I'm just going to check these meatballs, but I think that they are perfectly done. Yes, they are. So there are the cooked meatballs. I'll just show you the sauce as well. That's been cooking for such a long time at Varoma temperature. So everything's going to just be melted in. I mean, if you can see the hidden veg in there, then you've got better eyesight than me. So that's lovely there. So we'll just plate this up. And the other thing that I did was I cooked some pasta in the thermoserver. So make sure the thermoserver is really hot by putting boiling water in it. Leave that to sit for a few minutes, tip it out, and then make sure that you put boiling water in again. And then this has been sitting while I've been cooking, and this, my brown rice pasta, is ready to go. So I'll just plate up for you. And the beautiful thing that I love about the Thermomix every time is that I did the washing up while it was cooking. So there was nothing, there's nothing now to wash up apart from the bowl and a quick swizz on the thermoserver. So I'm just going to pop a couple of these meatballs on for my husband who's starving. And as I say, there's heaps of sauce, so I just put a little bit more on top. And you could sprinkle with parsley, or you could add some extra cheese. But that is your meatballs and red capsicum sauce.
Yum. Bit of chili on the top for me.
Oh, yeah. Good call. Yeah, fantastic.
Beautiful, Jo. They look great. I actually did meatballs the other night for dinner. And yeah, it's just so good when you can do it all in one rather than you know, and occasionally what I've done with the meatballs is actually put them into a glass dish, sprinkled some cheese on the top and pop it in the oven. And it's amazing when you've got a bit of cheesy goodness on the top, how because my kids are a little bit older and a little bit tougher audience. Yeah, getting away with meatballs on with a bit of cheesy goodness on the top and pop them in the oven. So all right, thank you, Jo. Now we're heading back to Elena. We're on the home stretch, everybody. So we'll pop Elena on. She's going to show us her pizza and her calzone.
Well, we had a little unexpected event. So far, the calzone is still cooking, but it will be another 2-3 minutes. However, I'll show you how the Margherita, sorry. How does it look like?
Hang on to it. Is it piping hot?
Yes. Can you
It
tell?
looks delicious.
So this is they like to say it in Italy, better simple and nice, simple and easy. That's how I eat pizzas. That's my husband's favorite. And if you wait like a couple of minutes, I can show you the calzone. Sorry for that. Actually, this one at the moment, we're cutting it with the scissors. We still don't have the new knife that is at the mix shop at the moment, but you can head there and purchase it because it's lovely. I'm waiting for that one. But
I was having a look in the mix shop and there is a brand new pizza cutter in there that looks extremely flash. It's got timber handles and, you know, really shiny blade. It's obviously maybe it's made from the Solagen steel, the same as the Thermomix blades, but it looks very flash.
just so I got the calzone in the way, nearly there. Not yet. Sorry for that. If Janine, you want to go with someone else and then come back to me in 2 minutes.
That's okay. I think that's about everyone. I haven't missed anyone. I think we've done all the presentations on everybody now. So what I might just do is okay, we back to me. Yeah. So you know, just wondering if anyone has any questions. We'd love to have a little chat with you at the end. So if you want to hang around for a couple of minutes and ask us any questions, we'd love for you to come off mute and be able to do that. If you have any questions about, you know, coming on as a consultant, have a chat to your consultant. She'd be more than happy, or he would be more than happy to have a chat with you. And I hope everybody's staying safe and enjoying, and there's lots of cooking classes coming up. I think we've got a baby and toddler one on Saturday, and we've got the cook-alongs going on. We've done a thermo fresh every night this week, which has been lots of fun. Lots of beautiful dishes been happening there as well. So, you know, keep in touch with your consultant. I'm sure she'll let you know, or he'll let you know what's coming along. And obviously you've got the insider group as well. So yeah, if you want to hang around, how are you going, Elena? Do you think we could have a quick look at your calzone? Quick question for you, Joe. Someone's wondering, how many veg did you add to the sauce? Chris is asking.
So for the sauce, I did fennel, capsicum, carrot, and zucchini. Four in the sauce. Yeah.
So were they all extras, or was it part of the recipe?
No, they're all extras. So it asked, all it asks for is 150 grams of brown onion, which I can't have. So I replaced that with about 100 of fennel, and then there was about another 100 of other veg. And I looked for some frozen celery, and I also threw a couple of broccoli stalks in as well. So the bits of the broccoli you normally throw away, blitz those in as well. Yeah.
Oh, love that. Just maximizing and minimizing your waste at the same time.
Absolutely. And
is it going down a treat? The family are whooping it down as we speak?
Yeah, my husband's just come through from putting the kiddo to bed and gone, oh, how is it? Yeah,
yes, my husband's patiently waiting for his dinner as well. So he'll be eating that very shortly. So we'll just quickly go back to Elena, see if that little calzone is ready. But I can just imagine what it's going to look like. It's going to be all golden and beautiful. How's it look, Elena?
Yeah, sorry, I had to take it out just a little bit earlier, but that's sorry for that. We had an unexpected event. We almost burned down the house. Obviously, you know.
Oh no!
We do this every week, you know, even sometimes twice, but obviously it had to happen when people is looking at me.
Of course, you've done a beautiful job, Elena. Yeah, show us how you cut the calzone. So do you eat it in half, or do you eat it with your fingers, or?
Yes. I'm just gonna show you how it looks inside and how delicious it is.
Thanks, everyone. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Oh, amazing.
That's how it looks inside.
Yep. I haven't made calzone. I can imagine you could put all sorts of little things in there as well. So
you like, it's basically same toppings that you would put on a pizza, but you just fold it and make it look nicer.
Awesome. Okay, all right. Well, look, thank you very much to the team. Joe, Sophie, Betty, Elena. Thank you so much to Trudy for hopping on. I can see Tammy's been in there answering lots of questions and, looking after us as well. So really beautiful community with Thermomix consultants. So if you're thinking you might like to do a little side hustle, the world's pretty crazy at the moment. So we're all in lockdown, but, you can still be a consultant in lockdown and, share the love of Thermomix with all these people. Step outside of your little square, do something else, try something new. You really got nothing to lose by becoming a consultant, and you'll just, fast track your learning of your Thermomix, meet lots of really lovely people and share all beautiful recipes. So if anyone has any questions, I'd love you to come off mute. And if anyone wants to hang around, I've got that little video ready to go if you want to have a look at that. If that's of any interest. I just thought I'd have it up. It only goes for about 2.5 minutes, but yeah, let me know if anyone's keen for that. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you again very soon. Thanks, girls, too. Yeah, and working in our slippers, totally, Tammy. I'm with you. It's like best job ever. Thanks, Robin. Really appreciate you coming on and joining us tonight. Yeah, we are busier than ever, aren't we, Trudy? It's like everyone sitting at home thinking they've got all this cooking to do, so why not have a Thermomix to do that and make the most of lockdown? Does anyone have any questions that I can help them with? Any questions about your machine or a function of the machine or cookie dough? Anything? Happy to help out. Oh my goodness, girls, we hit the target, 8:32. How good is that? Perfect timing. Everyone did so well.
So good.
Yeah, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, that was great. Well done. Well done.
Fantastic job, guys.
Those pizzas were making me drool. Where do you get your where's your little pizza oven from?
I sent it to Janine. I think it's on Victoria's basement at the moment, and somewhere else. I'm happy to send you the link later.
Please do. We love pizzas in our house. That looks absolutely amazing.
It takes you
and it cooks in 3 or 4 minutes. So that was kind of the hook, line and sinker for me. I don't have to put the oven and preheat it for half an hour and all that stuff.
How long does it take to preheat?
Oh, like 5 minutes or not even.
So
Thanks,
good.
It goes up to 300 grades temperature.
Another appliance to find some space in the pantry for.
And you could take that camping or to an Airbnb or, it's easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
So good.
My husband bought it.
Thermomix in one arm and the pizza oven in the other, and in the other arm, and you're good to go.
Yes, sir. Hubby can carry the Nespresso. You're done, aren't you?
That's all you need. Nespresso.
That's all you need.
My husband bought it last year when we went into lockdown because he said obviously he couldn't survive without pizza. So we started making pizza.